Hello everybody and welcome to day 3 of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. And today, we got Origin Jump Works. Now, I skipped over RSI yesterday because I was a little disappointed with what I saw. And ideally, I was really looking forward to seeing something either by the Orion or something by the Polaris. And they didn't really have anything on either of those two ships. It was just Auroras and Connies as far as the eye can see. And, you know, they had a rover in there, but it's literally nothing we haven't seen before. So I just kind of skipped over it. You know, it would have been nice to see anything, you know, a holographic display, anything like that, just to let us know they haven't forgotten about it. And it kind of looks like they've also skipped over the 890 jump. There's nothing to see here about that, which is a little disappointing. But walking down here, these are the 300 eyes, and these are all the old versions of it. So... oh, nice, this guy's got it open. But it's the same interior. These ships have been available for a while. We've seen them in game. They're all flight ready. They've been flight ready for years now. So this is old news. The only thing that is interesting is I like seeing the weapons loadout that is on these guys. But over here is obviously the new version of it, and that's what I came to see. So let's head on over to it. Now, ideally, I really hope I can get inside, because the outside of it is neat. I mean, they did a really good job on it, but they kept very close to the original design. And by that I mean they kept that sleek look, that sleek exterior. I think they just made the lines cleaner and made it a little bit more aerodynamic. And seeing this in-game helps alleviate one fear which I had, which essentially... what is that weird clipping from my armor? That is bizarre. What's going on here? And I'm crouching for no reason. How'd that happen? Okay. let's get back to it. But yeah, so they essentially said before that they're not going to be doing too much to the exterior. The real work, the real meat of what they did was on the interior of the ship. And I assume the door is going to be in the same area. I like how the idea of the new door is going to be opening up a lot closer to how the concept work on the 100i series was. Meaning there's no big bulky ladder to jump up and into. It's going to just kind of open up and create a ramp that you can get on the inside. They completely redid how the bed works. I'm very curious to see how they did the rest of the interior. But unfortunately, and I'm not too entirely surprised about this, so I can rent it. Already rented, huh? Well, yeah. Already went through and rented a few of these guys. But yeah, that's where the real bulk of the change is. And you know that's where it's going to be getting that whole kind of luxury look that they added into the 600i. And they're probably going to be pulling a lot of assets from the 600i to add into this ship to make the interior look even better. So obviously we're probably going to have to wait a little bit longer to see more on that. But I mean, I like how the exterior has that 85X kind of swoop to it. You can really see it from this angle right here looking at the cockpit. You know, but other than that, you know, really good job, really good look. Yeah, I'm happy to see this because my biggest fear is that they're going to ruin the style of this ship by making it too chunky and too fat and really removing that sleek aerodynamic look that the whole chassis has. And I'm glad to see that they didn't do that. This looks beautiful. I love how they worked it. It's the same ship at heart, like I said, just cleaner lines. And this is something also that's completely new. It's just the engine. This is a complete rework. And I like that. I like the way that looks. Looks more solid. Looks more futuristic as well. As opposed to the old ones that just kind of almost look like jet engines. This is something from the future. Alright, so there's not much more to look at. We can't get inside, unfortunately. Apologize for that, but that's really what I wanted to see. I'm not going to spend too much time on these ships. I mean, I like the display of them, but, you know, that's old news. And, of course, we have the M50 and the 85X. Which, if you want to rent any of these ships, this is the way you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to come down to the showroom floor, look at it, click rent. It costs nothing. It's very easy to do. And it's a good excuse to get you to come down here and check out these ships. And, of course, the 600i. 600i, it's a beautiful ship. I'm not going to go inside. I already have videos detailing interior walkthroughs, playthroughs, gameplay style, even combat tests. So I'm not going to really go into that again. And ideally, you know, really looking at this on the showroom floor gives you that sense of size. I mean, that sense of scale. For some reason, even seeing this outside on the struts, it doesn't even seem this big. But right here, it's never looked bigger. Seeing it, I guess it's seeing it in an interior confined space is really what does that. And I'll tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I would be very, very tempted to get this ship on my own if I didn't already have a Carrack. And what are the two differences between that ship? Well, a friend of mine described this as the Gentleman's Explorer, which is definitely what it is. And the Carrack is more like the hardcore explorer. But for me, the real difference is the 600i is in game right now, and the Carrack is not. So, that's the huge difference for me. And ideally, I don't need two Explorer ships. And it's a little bit redundant as far as my fleet goes. Some other people disagree. They want like a different Explorer ship for every occasion. And this ship, like the 600i, also has a degree of modularity where it's not just an Explorer. It's also a touring module as well. So it's got that going for it. But yeah, very, very sweet looking ship. Very beautiful. All of Origin ships look very nice. And I've heard it described in the ATV episode as the civilian ship. Like the ship that was made for the civilian market. And it really is. It just has that kind of style, comfort, and just practicality to it as well. Definitely high-end civilian if it's going to be for the civilian market. But that's going to be it for this expo. That's all I really kind of wanted to look at. I wanted to look at the outside, excuse me, words. Wow, not working again. I want to look at the outside of this ship and just get a general feel for it. I was kind of hoping to see the new rework version of all of these ships in there. It's a little bit much to ask, I guess. This ship has a little bit more work to be done to it, and apparently a little bit more work to be done to the interior as well. So I just get to look forward to seeing how that looks in the future. But this gives me a little glimpse of what's going to be coming, and the future looks good. I really do. I really like the way they redid this ship. They didn't ruin it in a lot of ways. I think they just made it look better. Really brought it up to code. Well, thank you very much for joining me for another day of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. I'm Law of the West. I hope to see you back here again soon. Goodbye, everybody.